and it's been the one that you've seen on almost everybody's feet. I think everybody over time has had a pair of Kayanos. Right, so this is the full review of the ASICS Kayano 30. If you haven't checked out my first impressions review, make sure you go back, watch that one first, and then get back into this one. So quick specs, it's a max cushion stability shoe. And for a number of years now, before the super shoe era, the Kayano was actually ASICS' flagship shoe. So it's always been the most expensive shoe that they've put out, and it's been the one that you've seen on almost everybody's feet. I think everybody over time has had a pair of Kayanos in their life. So this 30 years it's been around, and that's a very long time. So this is the latest version. So yep, coming in at a weight just over 300 grams or 10.6 ounces in a men's size 9. Price wise, still really expensive. In Australia here, $280, $160 in the US. So I'd really love it if they brought the price down just a little bit, so it's the same price as the Nimbus. 6.5 out of 10. And weight wise, it's not an overly heavy shoe for a stability shoe. 7.5 out of 10. So it's a engineered stretch knit is what they're calling it, made from 75% recycled materials. So it's actually quite a thick upper, so the breathability could be better, and it does get quite hot, especially in those hot conditions. Padding wise though, so this is a really plush shoe. It's built for comfort and it looks comfort. So plush padding throughout. So all around the heel collar there, super plush padding. Really padded tongue, a gusseted tongue, really nice. Heel counter, built like a tank, so really solid around the heel here. No issues with the lockdown here. Pretty standard lacing system, no issues with the laces. Fit, so it is a small fit. I highly recommend you get a half size up. I've had some toe bumping issues in the front, and I think that's a bit of a common theme in this version of the Kayano. As always, ASICS has got excellent build quality, and the stepping comfort of this shoe is really amazing. 8 out of 10. So in the midsole, we have had a 4mm increase in the stack height from the 29 version. So 30 in the front, 40mm in the rear, giving us a 10mm drop. So we have got the FF Blast Plus Eco. So just remember, that is not the same foam that's used in the Nova Blast, and it's going to give you a totally different experience. So don't expect that when you see that written on the side. Also in the midsole here, they've got their Pure Gel, so that is now encompassed within the shoe, so it's inside the heel of the shoe. They've got their 4D guidance system, so that's their new version of stability. They're doing away with all the traditional supportive elements that they used to whack on their shoe, so that's a really good move in the right direction, I think, from ASICS. So with their guidance system, how they're getting their stability in this shoe here, it's actually, a lot of it's just through the geometry of the shoe. So if you can see the midsole here, so on the lateral side of the shoe, it's actually, it's got a bit of a concave shape, as you can see that. And then on the middle of the shoe, or the medial side, it's got a convex shape. So what the outsides are meant to do is meant to collapse and do a bit of give, and on the inside of the shoe, it actually holds quite steady. Also within the guidance system, they've got this grey, so it is a different piece of foam in there, but it actually feels softer than the FF Blast Plus Eco. I think that's just giving a little bit of guidance in the arch area. So also where they're achieving some stability here, they've got these these sidewalls, they actually sit quite high up in the shoe. So when you put yourself in the shoe, you actually sink down a little bit further. So it actually looks, the midsole looks huge, but just remember your foot's not on top of that midsole, it actually sinks down a little bit. And so they're also achieving some stability with this really wide platform on the bottom, and they've also got, you can also see a bit of a groove or a bit of a cutout here as well in the bottom of the shoe. They're also achieving some guidance with the placement of their rubber, but I'll cover that in the next section. Okay, so how does it ride? So yeah, you guessed it, it is a very stable shoe. But it's not overpowering. I'm a neutral runner. I didn't find it overpowering or overcorrecting in any way. The feedback of the foam is quite similar as what you would find in the Nimbus. So it is a dense type feedback, like highly cushioned, dense. So it's not pillowy soft, it doesn't feel responsive, poppy, mushy or anything like that. Just a pretty dense feeling, but you do feel very, very protected, and it is very cushioned. The geometry, yeah, it has got a bit of a rocket geometry here, where it's very similar to the Nimbus, but you can't really feel it. And I believe that the other parts of the shoe are taking away the rocket sensation. But what this curvature does at the front of the shoe is actually taking the slappiness out of the impact of the road. So because a lot of the old Kayanos in the traditional shape had a bit of a slappiness when you hit the road. So this model takes that away, which is really, really great. So happy with the direction ASICS are moving here with their midsole. Like the stability elements in it, not overpowering. 7.5 out of 10. Right, so in the outsole here, we have got ASICS AHA, so it's covering the majority of the shoe, as you can see there, and they've got a really durable version of their AHA, which is their AHA Plus, and that's just in a plug here, just in the rear of the shoe, just in that high impact area. There's virtually hardly any wear on any of this rubber, which is really impressive. So the durability on this shoe is gonna go through the roof. I love the tread pattern, what they've got going on here. So not complete rubber coverage. They've got some flex grooves here, and it's actually quite flexible through the front of the shoe. So I really like what ASICS have done there with the outsole pattern. Also, what I previously mentioned before, how they've done it, how they've positioned their outsole rubber here, that's actually providing more stability to the shoe. So it's another stability element, and you can just see how they've given it lots on the medial side there. I've had no issues with the grip in this one in wet or dry and in dirt conditions, so pretty happy with the outsole. 7.5 out of 10. So best shoes for this one, definitely, yeah, it's your daily trainer. Also for those walkers out there that just want to be comfortable, that want a little bit of extra support, this one's going to serve you well. Also, people that that are on their feet all day, they're at work and they can wear a trainer, this one's not going to let you down either. So who is it best for? Definitely, you're going to get the most out of this shoe if you are one of the heavier runners out there. So you're probably going to find this shoe quite soft and quite compliant. For the lighter runners out there, you're probably going to find this shoe a little firm. So similar shoes out there, so I'm just going to say the Puma Forever Run again with its mild stability. Absolutely love that shoe. If you're after a little bit more stability, consider the New Balance Vongo V5. Also the Mizuno Wave Horizon 6 will be a little bit similar to this one. And also if you are on the cusp of stability, not really needing stability, the Nimbus 25. So in summary, I love the direction ASICS are moving with all their shoes, and in particular the Kayano 30. So really loving how they're ditching all that traditional stuff and getting their stability just out of the geometry. So it's a far more simpler shoe. I think it's going to work for more people. Wish the price was a little lower, as I mentioned before, and with the sizing being my only real issue in the shoe. So if you are a stability runner, it's a definite buy from me. If you are a neutral runner, then I'd probably just save yourself $20 and go get the Nimbus 25. So that's just about it from me, guys. Don't forget, if you've got any questions regarding the Kayano 30, please post your questions in the comments below. Love to read those ones. I love answering back any of your questions that you've got. So make sure, if you haven't done so, give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel. Feel free to share this with your running buddies, and we'll see you next time.